Hello, welcome back to our space. It's an honor to have you here. Today, and I want to start with an uncomfortable but necessary question. Why do some people age with vigor, clarity, and dignity, while others at the same age drag themselves through life tired, confused, dependent, almost invisible? It might sound harsh, but the truth needs to be told. And no, it's not just about genetics or luck. There are secrets, silent and powerful, that no one ever told us. There are habits, small daily choices, that right now are determining whether you will be remembered as someone strong and clear-minded, or as someone who lost their essence over the years. And here's something even more important. You still have time to change, to grow, to rebuild. Even if the world says otherwise, today I'm going to open a door to simple, forgotten knowledge, but alive within those who already realize that aging doesn't have to be a decline, but rather an awakening. You'll understand why so many elderly people lose their autonomy sooner than they should, and why a few manage to live to 90 or 100 years with sparkle in their eyes and strength in their soul. These people aren't better than you, but they discovered what I'm about to reveal in this video. Get ready, because by the end of this journey, you might come away with a new perspective on your body, your mind, and your future. And no, it's not about medicine, surgery, or miracle formulas. It's about things you can start today. With what you have right there from your home, let's reveal together the silent habits that strengthen you and the ones that weaken you without you noticing. And you'll understand why all this happens and how to turn the game around. Take a deep breath. Look around you, you're still here, and that means there's still so much to live for. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you still beats. And it's not just your heart. It's the silent desire to stay strong, clear, respected, to not be left aside, to live, not just survive. And today, I want to invite you to see something maybe no one has shown you so clearly before. There are choices you've been making every day without even realizing it that are shaping your aging, for better or worse. And the worst part is that these choices were programmed by a society that teaches us to accept decline as natural, that says aging means suffering, that normalizes memory loss, pain, fatigue, mental confusion. But I ask you, is that really natural, or is it just common? Today, I want to show you that there is another way, and it starts with a simple choice: to relearn how to take care of yourself with wisdom. You're about to discover 7 silent elements that are either strengthening or weakening you every day. And the most important thing, you will learn how to turn them to your advantage, no matter your age, your condition, or your past mistakes, because everything you need is inside you. You just need to awaken that sleeping part. This video isn't about magic, it's about awareness. It's about reclaiming the power that time hasn't taken away. You'll understand step by step how habits that seem harmless, like how you wake up, how you eat, how you speak, how you look in the mirror, are gradually shaping the course of your health, your mind, and even your independence. And if you think it's too late, I say to you, what you're about to hear today has already transformed the lives of thousands, ordinary people, like me, like you. But before we continue, an important request. If you can, grab a notebook or a piece of paper. Write down what touches your heart, because some of these truths might seem small now, but they will echo deeply when you look in the mirror. Tomorrow, shall we go together? It's time to reveal the 7 secrets that strengthen the wise and free the forgotten. Now, I want you to pay close attention, because what I'm about to show you are 7 habits. 7 elements that, though invisible, are shaping the course of your life. If you strengthen them, your body responds with vigor. If you ignore them, your body starts to fade away. Slowly, without warning, let's start with the first one. Habit number 1, the very first thing you think about when you wake up. Notice what runs through your mind the moment your eyes open. Thoughts like, another tiring day, my back is killing me, I don't have the strength I used to. These thoughts, even when silent, are commands, and your body obeys. It responds with real fatigue, with real discouragement, with stiffness, because the brain believes what you keep repeating. But here's the point. You can reprogram this. Tomorrow morning, even before getting out of bed, say quietly to yourself, "Today I choose to live with strength and clarity." Even if you don't believe it yet, say it for 7 days and watch what happens. Second habit, eating to fill up instead of nourishing yourself. How many times a week do you consciously choose what you eat? Or better yet, how often do you eat out of obligation, habit, routine, without thinking about what that food does inside you? Many people are weak, lacking energy, not because of lack of food, but because of an excess of the wrong kind. White breads, cookies, processed meats, easy foods, but empty. They don't nourish, they drain. Here's something simple and powerful. Include 1 living portion a day, a fresh fruit, a colorful salad, a handful of nuts or seeds. It's small, but done right consistently, it's worth more than the wrong excess. Third habit, talking only about illnesses. This one is subtle, but destructive. Have you noticed how many conversations among older people revolve around tests, pains, and medications? When this becomes routine, your mind conditions itself to the idea that this is all you are. And worse, it starts expecting your body to confirm it. But you are so much more than a diagnosis. You are history. You are strength. You are someone who has lived long enough to know that pain doesn't have to be the center. So challenge yourself. Have 1 conversation a day without mentioning illness. Talk about an old dream, a good memory, something you still want to live for. You'll be surprised by what still lives inside you, waiting to come back to the surface. Let's keep going. Habit number 4, stopping learning. This is something no one tells you, but the brain ages much faster when you stop learning something new. When days become repetitive, when you don't challenge your mind, when everything turns into more of the same, your brain goes into saving mode. It starts shutting down connections that once kept your memory alive, your clarity sharp, your will to live. But do you know what's most powerful here? You don't need to learn advanced math or study for hours. You just need to challenge yourself a little every day. Read a passage from a book, watch a video about something you never understood, learn the name of a new plant, write something with your other hand. These are small shocks that wake the sleeping brain. Habit number 5, living in the past. It's normal to feel nostalgia. It's human to remember times when everything was easier, but when the past becomes home, the present turns into an empty place, and this is dangerous. Because the body feels abandoned. It realizes you're existing, but not living. Here's something powerful. Every day at the end of the afternoon, write down on a piece of paper something you still want to live for. It can be simple. I want to walk without pain. I want to dance again. I want to laugh more. This desire is a thread of life, and the mind follows the thread you point to. Habit number 6, keeping everything inside. Many older adults were taught not to complain, not to bother others, to swallow the pain, but silence when carried too long makes you sick. Bottled up hurt becomes weight in the body. Hidden sadness turns into stiffness. Unexpressed anger turns into physical pain. You don't need to shout, but you do need to speak. Find someone you trust, or write. Talk to God if you want, but don't. Carry alone what already weighs on you inside. And finally, habit number 7, forgetting that the body is your ally. Many people only remember the body when it hurts, but the body is a loyal friend. If you treat it with respect, it responds, even in old age, even with a difficult history. Touch your legs gently. Be thankful for being able to walk, even with help. Stretch, breathe deeply for 1 minute. Notice that life still pulses, and where there is life, there is possibility for healing. These are the 7 habits, 7 hidden gateways between ordinary days that, when opened with awareness, can return something you thought you had lost: control over your own journey. Take a deep breath with me now. Seriously, do it. Inhale. Exhale slowly, because everything you've heard so far was not just information. It was a reminder that you are not alone, that there is a path, and that even if the world tried to convince you otherwise, You still have a choice. You've just learned 7 habits, 7 attitudes that often go unnoticed, but that have the power to shape how your body ages. And more than that, shape how you see yourself. Let's remember together. First, the thought that comes right when you wake up. It's not just a thought, it's a command. Choose a command that lifts you up, not one that brings you down. Next, the way you nourish yourself. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's about feeding what is still alive inside you. Third, the conversations you choose to have. When you only talk about illness, life loses its flavor. But when you talk about plans, good memories, curiosity, something awakens, something vibrates. Fourth, the act of continuing to learn, challenging your mind, even if just a little every day. Keeping the brain active is one of the greatest weapons against premature aging. Fifth, not clinging only to the past. It's part of who you are, but it doesn't need to be your fixed address. There's still life to live, and that desire, no matter how small it seems, is already a sign of life. Sixth, keeping everything to yourself. You don't have to carry it all alone. Speaking is also a form of healing. Releasing what weighs on you is making space for what brings relief. And finally, that recognize your body as an ally. It's here even with pain, even with limitations, doing its best every day to keep you here. So before anything else, say to it, thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for keeping me standing this far, because look, if you're hearing this message right now, it's because there's still something that needs to be lived. Something only you can bring to the world. And that is reason enough to keep going. Now tell me honestly, of all the habits we talked about here, which one touched you the most? Which one did you feel you need to change and/or value even more? Write it down in the comments. Your voice matters. Your experience can inspire others who are facing the same struggles, but in silence. And if this video touched you in any way, if it brought a sigh of relief, a good memory, or even a tear, I invite you to share it with someone you love, someone who might need to hear these words right now. Could be a friend, a daughter, a neighbor. Age doesn't matter. Wisdom has no time. It just needs to be passed on. Also, take a moment to like this video. It shows us that this content resonated with you and helps us reach more people who still believe it's possible to age with dignity, strength, and joy. If you want to continue this journey with us, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Here you will always find a space of respect, warmth, and truths the outside world prefers to hide. And if you want me to bring a part 2 with more hidden habits, comment below, I want part 2. If enough people ask for it, I'll know it's worth continuing this path by your side. Until the next video, take care of yourself every day like someone taking care of something too precious to be forgotten, because that's exactly what you are.